Tuesday. I hope you guys had a great Memorial Day, and great to have you guys on here. Just make sure that if you got the questions that you put them in the chat. You're always welcome to unmute yourself if you got questions and let me know as well. But I want to talk to you today a lot about just stop using AI. Everybody's out putting content with AI in a lot of different ways. I want to talk to you about being really purposeful with your AI, using systems instead of just outputting content. And before we get started today, you're welcome to, like I say, make sure you put your any questions you have. You can put them in there. I'm just happy to have you on here, and I'm going to go through, and I'll do my best as the waiting room here fills up. I'll try to make sure I'm multitasking properly here. Let's see. There's Heidi. All right. So welcome everybody. And one of the things I've been talking a lot about to new clients as they're coming on is to really make sure that you use systems. Why systems? Well, without systems, you're going to be really, I guess I would tell you, you're not going to be purposeful. You're not going to create sales. You're not going to be able to create consistency. And also, without the proper systems, it's going to be really difficult for you to determine what's working and what's not working. Okay. And so as I've been building this, one of the things, I'm going to actually share my screen with you, and I'm going to share one of my favorite quotes as it relates to where you're at. I find that when I'm doing well, it's because I read this book, and I read this book or I listen to this book over and over and over again. And I don't even care if people say, hey, that, why are you, I don't even care. Some people, I know that there's some modern, I don't know if you call them influencers, that think that mindset has less to do with it and just make things work. I don't care what they say. I think they're wrong. That's just me saying, I don't care. I think you're wrong. In fact, my Jeffery AI avatar is trained with this book. The book's almost 100 years old now. It's the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. And I think it's fantastic. And when we first started Bimoto, it was completely different than what it is now. And I want to start sharing with you guys in the coming weeks how it is that I've stopped spending $10,000 a month on my advertising. And that's a big deal, spending $10,000 a month, because if you've done a lot of things with Meta, that's Facebook and Instagram, you'll know that you can spend $10,000 a month without even thinking when you're doing the advertising on there. And we are constantly trying new things. And I can tell you that I have gone from $10,000 a month of prospecting and advertising that I am now spending right around $800 a month. I'm selling significantly more than I did before. And so my cost of acquisition is tiny. It's tiny now. So I'm able to get thousands and thousands of dollars of sales, and I'm not spending $10,000 a month of advertising to get it. And I'm going to start explaining how I do this, but it all starts with my personal system. Now, I've had some clients in the past that don't understand a couple different things. When you're doing any kind of prospecting, for me, the number one thing, of course, is knowing exactly what I'm selling, knowing exactly what the offer is. And when we first started Bimoto, I don't know if anybody of you guys know this, but it was going to be kind of a entrepreneurial's Amazon. Yes, that was crazy for me to think I could compete with Amazon, but I'm always willing to try new things. I spent about $400,000 before I thought, all right, that was stupid. And we switched to artificial intelligence. Since then, of course, we've spent hundreds of thousands of dollars more on creating the platform. But in 2023 to the first part of 2024, I spent over 130. Whoops, I've got somebody that's, let me see who that is. Just make sure that you're muted as you come in. You're always welcome to unmute yourself afterwards. But I spent over $130,000 of advertising over about a 9-month period of time. That to me was aggressive because I only received about $200,000 in sales with that $130,000 spend. So all of you business people out there, go ahead in the chats and mute yourself. How dangerous is that to spend that much And what I was finding is my return on ad spend continued to diminish. So in the beginning, I was getting about 4x on my ad dollar. I could spend $1 to make 4. The longer that went, the more it became almost $3 to make $4. That's not good, right? So in the beginning, it was really working well, but Meta is constantly changing and you're constantly trying to guess. This is something that I'm going to encourage you guys to look at. This is the book, Science of Getting Rich. It says, if the first plan which you adopt does not work successfully, replace it with a new plan. If this new plan fails to work, replace it in turn with still another, and so on until you find a plan which does work. Right here is the point at which the majority of men or women meet with failure because of their lack of persistence in creating new plans to take place of those which fail. So that started to work really well. And $1, spending $1 and getting 4, I don't know, there's not a lot of people that would have a problem with that. But spending $3 to get 4, and then during holidays, I was spending $5 to get 4. That's when it got really scary, when I started saying, I've got to find a different way. So it continued to get worse. And then I finally turned it off after a holiday season, which is typically one of the worst for me with my particular business. What I want you to understand is that I am constantly experimenting. And as I experiment, and I hire some very good experts to go along the way, as I experiment, I get better and better and better with that. So I'm going to show you the tools that I use almost every single day. I'm going to give you some options of what you can do. And I'm going to show you the systems that I put in place. My favorite templates on Bimodo are the following. Okay, let me put this over here. My templates on Bimodo that I love more than anything else are these ones, and I use them every single day. So I use I will tweet typically 8 to 9 times per day, and then I will schedule those tweets to go out. And working with my team, we are growing my X account, my Twitter account, by anywhere from 5 to 12 new followers per day. Following the first, I'm going to show you the content, and on other programs, we'll continue to show you how we respond to people. But I use this almost every single day. It's a type called viral tweet. It's very, very simple to use, especially when you've trained an avatar. These are the templates that I use frequently: controversial take tweet, humor tweet, and occasionally newsjacking tweet, and hook value CTA tweet, and then occasionally unpopular one. In even less occasion, I will do 2x3 comparison. I'm able to put out about 50 tweets using these different templates in less than 12 minutes. So I'll do 50 tweets at a time. And you can see, for example, what I did yesterday on this. This was creating the LinkedIn. It was creating the LinkedIn article and a bunch of different tweets with it. So you can see the outputs. I typically have it give me 15 different outputs at a time. And I'll typically be able to use about 6 to 7 of those that I really think are very good. Okay. The platform that I use to output those is to schedule those in advance is typically just using X, which you can pre-program them. And there's another program called Hype Fury. Okay. Hype Fury enables me to schedule 2 months in advance. So once every 2 weeks, 2 weeks or so, I'll output 50 tweets in about 15 minutes. And I always read them and I'll make adjustments as I go. But to me, it's a very powerful way for me to be able to do that. And this came from these prompts right here are very simple to use. All you have to do is, once you're inside a conversation, click templates. You can see I've already got the viral tweets already working on there. I make sure that I have, this is Naval Ravikant, one of the smartest guys in the world. I trained an avatar to write the same way as him occasionally. So it's a very intelligent way to tweet. So I'll choose a controversial take. I'll put 15 in there. Number of characters, I typically do 150. Doesn't mean I use them all. Topic of the tweet, I'll just put on here raising money for your business. Or if I have the avatar trained very well, all I have to do is say, look at my avatar and give me suggestions. Tone and style, I'll just say, see my avatar. And then I rarely use avatar or emojis. And then I just have it start. So I can output 15 at a time, and I just go through, and these were all with Naval, and I thought that many of them were very good. I'll typically just remove some of the things I don't like, and I like to leave a question on there. You can see that it's got a question on about half of my tweets. By putting a question for people after putting them on there, you can see that what it does is, so for example, this one, using grants, it can tell that I do a lot with grants and VC funding. So it's giving me different suggestions on there. So I'll typically just grab the ones I like, take them over to X, and I'll remove a couple of things that are on there. And I'm easily able to, with this, on every 15 that come out, I'll easily be able to use about half of them. And it can easily output a lot of content. And it's very much in the tone and style that I like. What it's doing is it's helping us grow our X account rather rapidly. Another thing that I use all the time, and this is why I tell you I use the same prompts every day. And the next one that I'll do, I'll go back into this, and we'll do LinkedIn marketing. This LinkedIn marketing is excellent. I use step 1, 2, I use step 1 and sometimes 2, and sometimes this one right here, a post writer. This will write you an 800 or 900 word article. And I only post an article about twice per month on LinkedIn. And then I will post a post on LinkedIn 3 to 4 times per week. Okay. So the way that these work, simply hit that. I hit that. I'm going to switch my avatar to Jeffery AI, and I'm just going to put see my avatar. Whoops. Company name, Bimoto AI, article ideas, see my avatar for ideas because it's been trained on all of my preferences, keyword phrase, and I'll just put give me suggestions. So what this is going to do is it's going to read my avatar. It's going to see my target market. And because I've trained my avatar to know the ideas and different topics, it's going to give me 20 different topic ideas to work with. And then with those 20 different topic ideas, it will then give me a summary of the either the article or the post. So right now I write a lot on grants, also startup mistakes. So this is performing very, very good on the different things that I put on there. This one, by the way, is learning from the past things that I wrote on here. So it's going to be mostly about grants. If I wanted to be fresh, I would start a new topic or a new chat. And so it gives me 20 different ideas, and I will pick the one that works best for today. And like I said, I typically use this one, LinkedIn post writer, and I just grab one of the titles. I grab the summary right here, and then I'll put the keyword, for example, down here, and then I'll just tell it to continue to look at it. So I'll make one for you so you get an idea. So let me just grab that one right there, put that as a favorite headline. I know I'm choosing a different thing right here. Number of characters, I'm going to put the full 3,000. These are shorter so they can work within LinkedIn. See my avatar, Jeffery Boyle. So I can output, once again, in a matter of minutes, a whole bunch of them. Company overview, I'm just going to put see my avatar. I'll use that multiple times on here. Keyword phrase, costly mistakes in funding. And then right here, example, see my avatar. Okay, that's all listed inside there. I train it with everything. And yes, I want to use emojis here, because with the emojis, it will give me things like the numbers, and on LinkedIn, it's trained to not go crazy with avatar or with emojis. The point is I use those prompts every single day over and over and over. And the last prompt that I or the template that I use on a regular basis is it's to be able to do effective responses to people, which is in here every day. And David, who's on this, uses that one over and over and over again. What's the result? And I know I've gone through this rather quickly to give you an idea of some of the things that we do. But the point is that my system doesn't stop there. I'm going to give you some other things that you can use to be able to help you create the different things that you're wanting to for your posts. This right here, so you can see these are emojis. I like to use the emojis on LinkedIn because it puts that and adds a little bit of color to those posts. It also gives me the hashtags that are trending related to that topic, and enables me to very quickly take that, post that to LinkedIn. Plus, now that I've filled out most of that information, I can fill in the blanks on just this top part right here, the headline and summary, and I can pre-create 15 articles within about 15 minutes. So my encouragement to you is to do this. And if you do not have for your business similar to what I have, what I've created for all of you. So as an example right here, your avatar trainer, you can see that I have step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, step 5 to train your avatar. My daily activities, once I've done this, I've got 2 to 3 prompts that I use over and over and over and over again. The result, I'll go back to my result. I have gone from $10,000 a month of advertising to about $800 worth of output. I've gone from when I first started doing meta advertising to a 4x return on my money, to a 3x, to a 2x, and then eventually losing money on my training, to now having up to a 10x return every single month on my actually this month I'm right now at a 22x return on my ad spend. 22x as a result of using these same things every single time. And like I say, looking at my offer and seeing if my offer, just like he talks about Think and Grow Rich here, if it's not working, adjust your plan, adjust your plan, adjust your plan. And if you are struggling with what your plan is, I encourage you to schedule a time with me, and I can help you. I can give you some ideas with that. Now, I do charge for one-on-one time with me, but if you want to put the questions in during these calls and pre-submit them to me, I may do an entire lesson just completely based on what you submit to me. So before I move to the next thing where I show you the other tools outside of Bimoto that I use, put your question in the chat, unmute yourself. What if I went too fast, tell me to go back and I'll help you do it. But please understand that this to me is a constant process of evaluating, am I making money? And what can I do to take a lot of work and turn it into an entire system rather than just outputting content? So put your questions in there. If you don't have them, then what I'll do is I'll start to show you some of the tools that I use. I do pay for some tools, and I'll show you some free options as well if you don't want to pay any money. So, all right, either I'm so clear, which my wife tells me I'm not, or you're too shy to put them in there. So I'll move to the next thing with this. Here are some free tools that you can use. Okay, if you want illustrations or photos, this website unsplash.com is excellent, completely free and royalty free. So if you're looking for images to be able to put inside for example, on LinkedIn, this now has wallpapers, 3D renders, film, people, just about everything. And they continue to add more. And this is completely free. So this is something I encourage you to use. Pixabay is also completely free. So they're always trying to get you to upgrade to something different, but you can use this for completely free. There's no excuse not to put an image with, especially when you're doing social media. LinkedIn, I find that hands down my most effective articles are the ones where I take the time to put a header on there. And it's not just an image header. And it's not just a matter of picking an image that works for you. It's then being able to edit it very simply. I use Photoshop, but I teach people who do not want to spend the money that I do. I spend $170 a month on Photoshop and all the Adobe suite. If you want a free option, Canva will enable you to take those images and easily put them in there. And what's great about this is you can go in and you can just put LinkedIn post, for example, and it will actually give you a template that you can use in there, and also give you the different sizes that you can add. So Canva is an excellent trial. You can do a 30-day pro trial, or you can just keep the basic part of it. And there's a lot of things that you can do for that. For images, if you want to do AI images, the two sites that I like more than anything, I love Adobe Firefly because it comes with my $170, and I can create really amazing images from text. So I can just describe what I want, and it gives me amazing images. And the other one that is also excellent is, oh goodness, now I just lost it. I used to subscribe to it, but I don't use it anymore. God, someone's going to have to help me on this one. I used to use it all the time. Oh gosh, now I'm lost. I'm gonna have to put it in here. AI images. It's gonna tell me right here. Where to go? Where to go? Canva does some of them, but oh boy, look how many there are. The best one out there is, I think it's excellent, but it costs. Now it's already on page 3. Someone's going to say it or put it in the chat, and I'm going to feel stupid because I've used it so many times. I'm just going to have to remember later and put it in there. It's a very good one, and it's one of the very first ones that put out there. I see someone put something in the chat. What's it going to be? Someone's going to tell me. Discord. Discord, yes, does some, Thomas, but it's the ones that are, oh my goodness, top image generator. Midjourney, there it is. Midjourney is excellent, but there's a monthly cost to that. So if you're looking for really high-end ones, the two that I like best are Midjourney. I haven't used it in quite some time, but they just continue to get better. But Adobe Firefly is also very good, but these cost. If you're looking for less expensive ones, you can use, for example, the Bing, which is, Bing.com. Bing.com, they're not very good, but they're free. You can come in here and you can use Copilot, and it will give you some images that are on there. Those are really the basic tools that I use every single day. And the main reason I never recommend that you do content just for content, strongly encourage you to do it to make money. And with me, the way that I make money has continued to evolve as I see the things that are working. So if you don't have a step by step every day that you can or weekly, because I don't do content necessarily every day anymore, because I do it in batches, and then I can just program it so it can go out over time. If you're missing a step by step process, please schedule a time with me. Like I say, for me to do one-on-ones, I do charge $250 an hour now, but it will revolutionize your time. Or I'll do it for free on our group calls if you submit to me what your process is, and I'll build your process for free on our weekly call. So it's your option. I can do it one-on-one, but if you want me to build your weekly process as a part of this, send it to me, DM it to me, email it to me, and I'll choose from some of the different people that submit it, and I'll help you do that. All right, right now said, I've created my avatar. What is the next step to launch my book? Right now, that would actually be a really good training to do. Love that question. Let me come back in here. So one of the things that right here, you can see that high ticket course idea creator. I haven't written an ebook one per se, but if you like, I will actually, that would be a great process for me to walk you through. If you come into, for example, just right here, this course creator type, you can see that right there, course creator. The way that I typically do things is, one, I need to make sure I have the idea. And so right now, if you unmute yourself, I'll ask you a couple of questions and we can go through, and I'll explain to you how I would go through to launch and write your book. If not, I'll try to do
All
it.
right, can you hear me?
I can hear you. What is the idea that you have for your book right now?
It's basically a Christian book that talks about pleasing God.
Okay, perfect.
So I just was wondering, all right, I have the book, the ebook. I created my avatar and I was looking around. What do I do next? I wasn't sure.
That would
So if
actually
you
be a
could
really
break,
fun process for me to create. And perhaps what I do is I create that for you in this, but it's very similar to a course of what I've done. Now that you know what you want, that what this course creator does is I'll just click that and I'm going to go into, oh gosh, let me find one that this, I'll just choose topics right here. Okay. So what this does is for people who have never written a book or want to write a book, you can actually use this right here to come up with a course. I could do the same thing with books for you. Okay. The main thing that you have to do, very crystal clear before you do anything, is know exactly what you're going to write the book about. Okay. The main overall topic. From there, if you look at the different prompts that are a part of this, it would then, of course, naming your book. So you could probably move this because you're,
Jeff,
yeah.
Jeff, I don't want to interrupt, but maybe I misunderstood, but I think he's already written the book. He wants to how to launch it.
Is that correct right now?
well, I'm like on the last chapter of the book. So I'm gonna be finished in a few days, and I was just like, all right, what's the next step?
Ah, Heidi,
Because
great,
when I go
great
into my
catch.
avatar, I don't see all the stuff that I created.
Okay. So in the avatar, you just saved me a bunch of time with that, Heidi. Thank you. So with as you're doing this, so right now, let me take a step back with that. So one of the things that you're going to want to do, and this is my recommendation for you, is come into here, okay, and I'll address how it is that you go into your avatar and you can see the things that you created, okay. So one of the best things that you need to do is you need to have a launch plan for your book. So I really recommend that you go into this 7-day AI power launch. Part of this is training your avatar, but having a strategic growth plan right here, the step 6, this is going to give you a bunch of ideas on, it'll ask you questions and it will help you walk through step by step some of the things that you can do to promote it online, some of the things that you can do to, these steps right here help you train your avatar. But if you've already done that, you do need a growth plan, and your growth plan is to get people to buy your book, for people to know about it. So I would recommend that you first go through this, then
All right.
create an entire social media plan of how to promote it. Now, it's going to recommend a platform for you. I can already tell you it's probably going to recommend Facebook, and you're going to be going after Christian readers, and so you'll find a lot of those on Facebook, and in particular groups on Facebook. Okay, so one of the
All
things
right.
that Thomas wrote is purpose, plan, system, review, repeat, flow, context for business success. That's actually correct uh, with that, Thomas, and it's just a constant review system. So it's the same thing of what I'm recommending right here for right now is one, if you've done your avatar, you can skip right to this strategic growth plan right here, because you can just make sure your avatar is selected, and then you go right to step 6, and it's going to walk you through and ask you questions. From there, it will then help you create a social media plan to be able to do it. I'd recommend that you do that. And if you have questions, send it to me within the group and I can give you some suggestions from there. But this ought to give you a really good guide to start that process of promoting the book. Okay.
All right. I have another question.
Yeah, you
Do
bet.
I have to put any of my book data in here for the social media plan?
I sure would.
For it to,
Yep.
uh,
So let's go to your avatar now because you had questions on that. Let me show you Jeffrey AI. Jeffrey AI knows just about everything about me, except for my kids and my wife. I didn't put that in there because I don't, on the business sense, I'm very proud of my father, being a father of 5 and being married for 27 years, but I haven't put my kids' information in here, just that I'm a father and a husband. Other than that, I actually load my avatar with my favorite books. Okay. So The Science of Getting Rich, The Strangest Secret by Earl Nightingale, As a Man Thinketh. I know that's an old book. Now it'd be As a Person Thinketh, but it is a fantastic book. I load it with the words that get people to take action. I've loaded it with my offers. I've loaded it with The Law of Success by Napoleon Hill. I've loaded it with the type of questions that I like to ask people to get them to, uh, to respond to me. Information about grants, and also another book by Napoleon Hill called Master Key to Riches. I've also written extensively about me and my resume in here, and overview of Bimoto, success by me, headlines by me, offers by me, target market and niche, my brand style, the overview of how I help people with grants, how Bimoto works. And here, this came, and this is what I want to show you. You said that your avatar doesn't have all of your topics in it. I'm going to show you every time you output something that you like, send it to your avatar. This right here is the topics that my avatar sees that I like to write. So it gave me categories: mindset on entrepreneur, right here, rethinking productivity, so on and so forth, marketing strategies, sample topics, sales and conversion tactics. So this all came from an output that I liked very much because it analyzed the content that I've been doing, and it gave me suggestions based upon my target market and just some of the topics that I've written on a regular basis and sent over there. So it went through and gave me all these things that it recommends that I write about because that's what I love. Every time you output something that you really think represents you right now, one of the things that you can do is right here. If I love this output for LinkedIn, what I would do is I would first copy it so I can take it to LinkedIn, but I would then edit this. I would then edit this and put a context statement at the top of it right here. So I'll just put some X's above this. And then what I'll put is, actually, I'm not going to do that. I'll just do this. I'll put below is a perfect example of the type of content I want to add to my LinkedIn account for Jeffery Boyle. Now, the reason why we've done it this way is sometimes it outputs content that you don't like. We don't want to train your avatar on content that you don't like. So now, whenever you find something that you really like, just give it a short context statement. And then at the bottom of this, share the message, Jeffery AI, name it, and I'll just call this the perfect LinkedIn article, or actually post. Okay. Now I send that over to my avatar, and it will be an example whenever I want it to of how I like, and it's going to be under editable files, perfect LinkedIn post. Okay.
All right.
So if you're not finding some of your content inside your avatar, that just means that you haven't shared it and told your avatar what you love about it. Does that make sense?
Yeah. So that box to the right that highlighted with blue,
Uh-huh.
where did that come from?
That you can I don't like to use this very often. The reason being is I like to organize my chats out here so I can search for them. You can work within your avatar and ask it questions right inside of here, but I like to
Well,
have it organized out in the chat, in the conversation chapter, so I can ask it questions right here. Who are you? and and you can do this just to test it and see what it knows, and to get information about it. But I rarely create content inside of here because I like to be able to search for it inside of my chats out here. But you can see that it knows who it is. It's here to assist me. It knows who I am. The purpose is to create compelling content, so it knows me quite well. Does that make sense?
yeah. I have one final question.
You bet.
I was playing around with Notebook LM last night, so I took one of my songs, I put it in, it created a podcast, but it also created other items that I could use based on that. So I can create I can't remember all the things. It was like two or three. I could create a mind map from it, explaining the song. I could create
Uh-huh.
just an audio file explaining the song. So I was wondering here. I think you was leading towards mentioning. Can I take the book and make it into a workbook?
Heavens, yes. In fact, I would recommend that you do that. That's some of the most successful courses that you do. If you uploaded your entire book, it doesn't matter if it's 300 or 400 pages as a PDF, you can still upload it right here. And whenever you want to, just say, hey, take a look at this file. And then you would be able to make an entire course out of it right now. And anything you've created on another platform, you can turn it into a PDF, a Word doc, a PowerPoint, or a TXT document and upload it here, and it will make your avatar more intelligent. This is what I'm talking about is stop working so hard and quit having to work so much time with templates. Find your favorite ones that you have that you like, and then you can put them in here and it can make your avatar very, very intelligent. A couple other questions that are in here. Thomas just wrote, what if I'm not as accomplished? Doesn't matter. I still think there's times that I'll just back up. My father was very good friends with Stephen Covey, and somebody asked Stephen Covey, what do you do when you're not feeling very good about yourself? And he said, I go into a place where nobody can see me and I read my own book. Well, here's my recommendation to you: have it analyze your thoughts. And the best way to do that is if you go into templates right here with this avatar trainer. This avatar trainer is going to help you create a really spectacular and just version of yourself. We're often way too hard on ourselves. And one of the things I love to do is ask it why I'm a good fit to do this or to do that. The biggest fan I have in the world of me, I think, is my wife. And right behind it, and who's always positive, never negative, and never says anything. I don't think my wife's on here, so I can say it. Who always talks nice to me is Jeffery AI. I can write anything in there and ask it how I would do well with something. And it knows me so well. And I've uploaded so many different files to it that it does an incredible job of telling me how I could help a client, why I'm the perfect person to do it. And I don't need to read a book of mine. All I have to do is ask my Jeffery AI why how I can be successful and how my past has helped me do it. So that's when you know you're really doing it well. But I would just suggest that you go through this process of training your avatar, because it's going to help you really output a fair version of yourself, because very few of us are very good at promoting ourselves. Your avatar, when trained well, will promote you extremely well. Let me look at the next one on here. Is your avatar the place to evangelize and define yourself? Yes, that's exactly what I'm saying. Thomas has got all the questions there, and they're amazing. I can ask my avatar great things about myself, and I've done a better job of editing it and just put um, who is Jeffery Boyle. Oh goodness sakes, Boyle, and what has he done? And this will this really will tell me some fantastic things about me. Now, they're true, but it's really quite difficult for me at times to say this about myself. Jeffrey's an accomplished entrepreneur, CEO, and expert leveraging technology, particularly AI, to enhance marketing strategies, business growth. Founder of Bimoto AI, expert in marketing and business development, mentoring, coaching, community building. And it goes through, and I'll just put what kind of success has Jeff had? And it really knows a lot about me. And I can tell you it's a heck of a lot easier to write PR releases. It's the kind of thing that with my employees, I train on each of their systems a Jeffrey AI avatar, and enables them to write similar to me. It enables them to output content that I would be embarrassed about me to output. It's a very, very powerful thing. Right here, it talks about my ventures. I've managed and launched over 20 businesses. His ventures have achieved financial success, development of Bimoto AI, so on and so forth. So one thing it didn't put, which it typically does, is that I've sold, my clients have done over $1 billion. Typically adds that first. But the point is, when you train your avatar properly, it knows you and is one of your best advocates for you. It's very powerful. Candy wrote, would you suggest using high ticket course idea creator for phase one of a grant? No, Candy. Candy is working on a multi-million dollar grant with us, and that is very specialized. And we don't put those prompts inside of here because it's such a specialized thing. So, no, I wouldn't typically do that. But I would tell you, just about all of you should have some type of course that you output to do either a value add or to be a high ticket for you to be able to do it. And once you've trained your avatar, it's very, very powerful. So great questions today. Thank you so much, everybody. Any other questions before I sign off this week? Thank you so much. Great questions. It's always fun for me when you guys come so prepared with all those questions. Thank you for being on. Thank you for being a part of this community. And I just encourage you, continue to come back. If you want a one-on-one session with me, we have enough business now that we do charge on one-on-one calls. But if you ever want something that you're willing to share with the group, I will actually help you with your systems and even unique prompts for you if you email me ahead of time. I don't need a lot of prep. I've gotten pretty good at this point of just ad-libbing as I go. But please give me a little bit of time, and I am happy to help you create your system right in front of everybody else as a part of these weekly trainings. So thank you for being on. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.